Jmillz, top 8 at NAIC last season, qualifying World Championships at that tournament, and also got 3rd place in Orlando last season here in the same exact venue, but a full year ago.
Yeah, got that trickle down for the World's invite. So this is a seasoned competitor, has that Shadow Whiscash, Shadow Gligar. The Shadow Whiscash, Shadow Gligar has really been the story for me at the end of this day number 2. There's so many trainers that are running those two together. House Stark was doing it so often. Jmillz has been doing it as well. And then the other side, beeeach. This trainer might have competed in more championship series tournaments than any trainer. He is in his 19th tournament. He has top 4'd 2 different times in 2023 season. He also got a Portland Regional top 8, and for the first time ever, he has a top 3. And on his team, he has 3 shiny Pokemon, 1 the Lantern that he's been using forever that wins almost every charge attack priority, and then a story here has been that shiny Poliwrath as well. It's been really consistent, really strong for him in the back.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how he leverages it as well. Poliwrath looks pretty decent into this team composition. Jmillz, beeeach brought it quite a few times in their first set of battles yesterday on day number 1. And here we go, Poliwrath right there, locked into the Vigoroth. A fantastic lead matchup for beeeach.
Yeah, an instant swap into the Shadow Gligar met by the Skarmory. So this is just perfect for beeeach starting out this this losers finals. And remember, this is going to be a best-of-5 series. So even though beeeach is so far ahead here, he's going to have to secure 3 victories, but he still has to focus on this one because there's still ways that you can get back in it if you are Jmillz, but it's going to involve Charger Bug doing absolutely everything in the back for Jmillz.
And a fantastic line read from beeeach as well, bringing the Skarmory to hard counter Gligar and having the Altaria, which beats the Charger Bug as well. So Jmillz has his work cut out for himself. He could potentially get a little bit extra energy off this Skarmory, actually going for an undercharge, trying to give his Vigoroth a little bit more to farm.
Yeah, but the thing is, you're going to have to soak some energy on that Vigoroth, I guess, regardless, and it looks like it is going to be the Brave Bird, so you're going to get that, and there comes the Protect Shield. It is going to be a defense drop here into the Skarmory, so you're going to get a couple of extra counters that maybe you wouldn't have gotten if you didn't throw that undercharge dig, so giving a slight energy advantage, but you already gave up Protect Shield, swap, counter swap, and this is bad. You're down to Protect Shield into Altaria.
This is not a great spot at all, and not only that, you don't have switch advantage and you have a shield disadvantage. Usually in these situations, you're in a really tough position. That's exactly what Jmillz is in. The neutral Dragon Breath damage and the neutral Sky Tech Moonblast is really going to add up against Jmillz, and I think beeeach is just content on just not shielding and maybe saving the second shield for the Poliwrath even.
And the tough situation here is Altaria even beats Charger Bug neutrally, so that means you lost in 3 positions. You lost in the lead with the Vigoroth and the Poliwrath, you lost on the safe swap with the Shadow Gligar and the Skarmory, now you're losing in this position as well. Usually when you lose in all 3 positions, you are probably going to lose the battle.
Yeah, the only way it could have got even better for beeeach is maybe if he had the Gligar on the Charger Bug instead. Can beeeach get to Sky Tech? No, does not. Now, this is going to be interesting. It looks pretty bad for sure, but these body slams do add up. However, this is a non-Shadow Poliwrath. I think at that point, there's really no way to flip this matchup.
And especially because there's 2 Protect Shields remaining. It's not, you still have all your defense here, so you are going to be able to Protect Shield that next body slam and then debuff, because you're going to have to even Protect Shield an Icy Wind at this point if you are Jmillz and his Vigoroth. So now the body slams just aren't going to do really anything at all. So it looks like Jmillz is just going to concede this game number 1. And suddenly, beeeach is off to a hot start. He lost 2-1 yesterday versus Jmillz and getting a little revenge, keeping his momentum. Like you said, now is 11-0 in day number 2.
11-1. He lost
11-1. Yes.
But still, very impressive stat line for sure. I mean, beeeach is warmed up for these setup battles. Jmillz coming off a loss against Doombug in that best of 5s, looking to see if he could do something there. I think that was just a really tough match for Jmillz. I think if you get anyone, Jmillz's team, into that composition of beeeach, I don't think it's winnable at all. Yeah,
even put Doombug in there, I'm not sure he's getting out of that matchup. And beeeach, like you mentioned, just an insane win rate, 11-1 in a day number 2, top 16 top cut here in Orlando, just absolutely on fire. This is one of the most seasoned trainers in Championship Series and is peaking at the exact right time, facing a challenger who defeated him in day number 1. Can Jmillz now bounce back, bring the team compositions, bring the play that he was using in that day number 1 to defeat beeeach here?
And beeeach talked about earlier, he believes that he qualified for World Championships early on that. I think this was after his first win on day. I mean, he definitely has qualified probably at this point too, because he's made it even further than just that top 16 mark for the tournament. But looking for some more, right? And of course, if he wins the whole thing, that's a guaranteed invitation as well, and a lot of championship points on top of that to help even his chase for a travel award.
The tough thing about facing this triple flyer team composition that Beach has, it makes those ground types that have been so safe in the meta, like Shadow Wizcash Safe Swap, there's usually not a really hard answer to it, but Beach has that hard answer. He has the Altaria. Same with Shadow Gligar. Shadow Gligar is just usually so safe, but you also have the flying type Skarmory, the hard wall that there. Those triple flyers have been such a factor for Beach. He always brings 2 of them almost. See if he brings 2 more to game number 2. Once again, he's going to be winning the lead, and he brought all 3 of them, Caleb. He brought the triple flyer.
He brought the triple flyer, and this Charger Bug doesn't really have a lot of places to go in the lead, because if Beach maintains switch advantage, it's going to get from not a great matchup against Altaria to even worse matchup against the Gligar.
And here comes the body slam. Are you going to try to chip and dip? That's a common strategy against a safe swap Lickitung, and actually doesn't really chip with anything but Dragon Breath. Doesn't throw the Sky Attack energy, but since you have such a great counter, maybe it now puts this Lickitung into double Sky Attack range.
And this is actually pretty good for Jmillz, because you draw with the Skarmory. And if you look at the back line of Beach, both Altaria and Gligar are going to lose to that Skarmory on the back end of Jmillz. So Jmillz has some chance here to potentially set up a comeback.
And the body slam is obviously not going to be enough, but the key factor to me is, did this Lickitung get close enough range to Sky Attack and Steel Wing down? The thing is, this Lickitung is energy dry. Can you make it? Can you go for it? There's an instant no protect shield from the Lickitung, and the Sky Attack is going to be able to land, but I don't think you can Steel Wing down, and suddenly this Lickitung is going to be forced the pressure on the body slam and gets that body slam, and this is going to be really close to knocking out Skarmory. Does this knock out? You might actually take the alignment back here.
I like this play from Beach a lot, though. He recognizes that he has great matchups. Oh, wait, no, he actually gets it off, but couldn't get the move ball, barely surviving on Lickitung. But then here's the thing. Beach already knows he has a great matchup against Charger Bug either way, so he's going to try to draw out the third, and it's going to be the Skarmory, so it's actually exactly what Beach wants. You want to avoid that Gligar versus Skarmory matchup and save it for the Charger Bug.
Yeah.
However, this Altaria is pretty low on health, so it's going to have to just chip down the Skarmory as much as possible. Jmillz trying to think what can possibly be even in the back at this point.
That seems so bad for Beach, because he got knocked out by a lick that registered before he could throw the Sky Attack energy, so it was such a huge break for Jmillz, actually throwing up the Protect Shield here against the Skarmory, just making sure that he knocks out the Skarmory, because he really doesn't need the Protect Shields on the back line versus the Charger Bug. So it looks like Jmillz wants to give a protection right back, knowing Skarmory might be his key to victory here, but this is exactly what Beach lined up here, bringing this triple flyers. Just so many answers for that Charger Bug here, having the Gligar in the back, and suddenly, can you get that last Sky Attack? You do!
And Jmillz going for the aggressive farm down. Let's see if it's going to pay off or not. Beach needs to try to get to Aerial Ace before double Sky Attack is reached. Let's see if he can do it. Oh, yes, Jmillz has plenty of energy to get to the Sky Attack, and Beach is going to shield the first one. Can Jmillz get to Brave Bird? Is he just going to play it safe and just go straight for the Sky Attack?
No, that could win him the game if he can get to Brave Bird, because can he get there? No, he actually could have maybe thrown on Charge Attack priority into the Brave Bird, but decided to go for the Sky Attack, knowing that he would lose that Charge Attack priority, might get knocked out by the Aerial Ace, trying to do some chip damage, then swapping into the Charger Bug. It's not over for the Charger Bug and Jmillz yet. Maybe Volt Switch plus a X-Scissor could be enough before you can get to a dig for Beach.
And Beach going for the Aerial Ace first, recognizing he needs 2 attacks anyway to take this out. X-Scissor is going to come through, and here's the thing, Beach is not at the dig yet, so you might have to take another Volt Switch worth of damage before you can take out the Charge Bug, and you're so low on health at this point, and no, actually going to throw the one wing attack to get the dig, so avoids that damage for sure. But Jmillz probably going to try Steel Wing down both the Gligar and the Altaria. Let's see if he can pull it off. There's not a lot of health left on all 3 Pokemon remaining.
He has a shot here with Skarmory. He's able to take out the Gligar. Now he just needs 1 or 2 Steel Wings to take out the Altaria. 1 Steel Wing, 2 Steel Wing, and he takes the victory and ties up the series 1-1.
Jmillz definitely needed that victory as well. Going down 0-2 to start things off in a best-of-5 is not where you want to be. Finding the win condition there. And it was really that Lickitung Safe Swap, drawing out the Skarmory from Beach. And that's the thing, right? If you run Triple Flyer, you don't really have any Skarmory checks. At best, you have a mirror matchup and 2 losing matchups. So it's kind of a risky, it's a cool looking line, but I think it's a pretty risky line into a Skarmory team.
I thought it looked brilliant because that put the Charge Bug in such a vulnerable position. But to your point, yes, the Charger Bug didn't really have anywhere to go, but you had no counter for the Skarmory, and once Jmillz recognized that, knowing that he can invest heavily into the Skarmory, was able to get Protect Shields with it, get chip damage with it, and eventually, in the end, get that Steel Wing down. So, yeah, it was awesome to see all triple flyers put into one package, but it just wasn't enough to overtake the Skarmory from Jmillz.
And you can see here the Skarmory just overpowering the Altaria. Altaria didn't have a lot of health already, but resisting the Dragon Breath damage, the Steel Wing just starting to chunk down the Altaria. Not able to get to the Brave Bird here, but it ended up still working out quite well for Jmillz.
Yeah, and is he trying to scare off that Charger Bug? Because once you scare off that Charger Bug, you are so safe with the Poliwrath. If you're showing all these answers for Charger Bug, as the Skarmory is just able to clutch it out versus the double flyer, saying that's why I am the king of the flyers here. If you're able to scare off that Charger Bug, Poliwrath is pretty much unchecked, because you even beat Shadow Gligar as a normal Poliwrath in even shield situations in the one Protect Shield, because you can hang on to an Aerial Ace. So I like that strategy from beeeach. Will it pay off in this game number 3? We have the Lickitung versus the Shadow Gligar. Do we see that Charger Bug or Poliwrath in the back? There is a Charger Bug, but actually no Poliwrath for beeeach.
So double flyer though for beeeach. Looks like beeeach has to bring at least 2 flyers every game. I mean, it's a really solid strategy. Alignment's going to be pretty important here. You really want to avoid that Charge Bug against your Skarmory if you're beeeach. And this is kind of a weird, funky matchup, right? If you land some digs, it could definitely be more in favor of the Gligar. But if you don't land the digs or they start being shielded from beeeach, then that's a different story. Jmillz going straight away for the dig right off the bat, and a quick shield from beeeach. Instant
Protect Shield, knowing that he wants to take the alignment here with those double flyers in the back, expecting an answer for that Skarmory in the back, which there is the Charger Bug. So Lickitung should surely take the alignment here. That means it's going to be the Altaria versus the Charger Bug in the back, and then it's going to be the Skarmory versus the Vigoroth. Vigoroth does have play, though, up Protect Shields.
And honestly, the Charger Bug has plenty of play up Protect Shields as well. Yes, Altaria is going to take only neutral damage from the Discharge and the Volt Switch, but if you have a shield advantage, it's actually not so bad. Here comes the Vigoroth as well. beeeach just staying in here, going to throw the Energy first, doesn't want to pivot over. I think probably not a bad choice, because if he swaps, I mean, he definitely doesn't swap Skarmory, because then he's just locked in a Charge Bug. But even Altaria coming into Vigoroth with this much energy is a little bit clunky.
Yeah, but at least you can kind of soak it with the Skarmory here. You do get fully countered down. You did some chip damage. Here comes that Skarmory to avoid the Charge Bug. So that's actually the perfect situation for beeeach here. You soak this energy from Vigoroth quite nicely. These Rock Slides really aren't going to do much to the Steel type of that Skarmory, and suddenly you're putting the pressure on, and there comes the swap into the Charge Bug. Is he going to try to throw a Brave Bird first? He is going to throw the Brave Bird on a Volt Switch, so he's going to get that damage registered and then probably swap it to the Altaria.
I think Jmillz is a little worried that's a Gligar on the back, but he's going to be relieved to see that it's not the Gligar on the back, it's actually Altaria, so he definitely has a lot more play in this situation. But the Dragon Breath damage is starting to add up for sure. Volt Switch and Discharge is going to come through and probably connect on this Altaria. This is still a pretty even game, all things throughout. Vigoroth was, I think, a 1 or 2 counters away from a Rock Slide as well.
Yeah, and the thing is, you probably will soft lose this matchup as the Sky Tech does get Protect Shielded. Can you get the Protect Shield from the Altaria? You probably can. And if you soft lose this matchup, maybe you can get the counter down with Vigoroth and get to a Rock Slide plus Body Slam. That might be enough to knock out that Skarmory in the back line. You definitely are getting the Protect Shield here. You have the back-to-back discharges. It's not over for Charger Bug from Jmillz.
And here comes another Discharge coming through before the Sky Tech's reached. I don't know if this is a miscalculation from beeeach though, because you didn't get a ton of value out of the shield. Discharge is going to come through, barely hanging on, but you have the Vigoroth and you go for the aggressive counter down from Jmillz. Skarmory doesn't have any energy. It threw the Brave Bird earlier, and now you have the neutral Rock Slide. Counters are also going to add up. You can get to Body Slam before the next move from Skarmory even. It looks like Jmillz going to go up 1 game in this best of 5 series.
Yeah, the timers were misaligned, able to unleash the Vigoroth before beeeach could do anything with that Altaria. Now suddenly, Jmillz was in that 0-1 hole. Now he is up 2-1, just like he did yesterday against beeeach, defeating him 2-1. But this is a best of 5 series, and he is 1 win away from improving on his last season's record of top 3 in Orlando. We talked to him earlier. That is his goal. That is his dream. He wants to do better. He's not satisfied with that top 3. Suddenly, he is just 1 win away.
But Beach, he wants more than this as well. I mean, he went on a tear today in day number 2. Now dropping 2 games back-to-back. He needs to go 2-0 here in the final 2 potential games to have a shot against Doombug as well. Let's look at the replay here that set everything up. The early shield puts Beach at a disadvantage, but here's the thing, you can't really swap easily into a Vigoroth with that much energy with Altaria as well, and if you do, you would end up giving the alignment exactly where Jmillz wants to be. Obviously, Beach doesn't know exactly the line from Jmillz, but he made a really great read, in my opinion, on that backline. Unfortunately, the shield advantage, Charger Bug, and just the extra energy on Vigoroth just proved to be too much for the double flyers.
And the misaligned switch clock, right?
That's
because
right.
You were able to unleash the Vigoroth early, that got you that energy advantage. If it was flipped, if Beach could have let the Skarmory out early, then it could have got a Steel Wing down on that Charger Bug and maybe got to enough energy. And now we are in game number 4. Jmillz is 1 victory away and has a fantastic lead into Beach. The Skarmory into the Altaria safe swap into the Poliwrath, met by the Shadow Gligar.
And there's nowhere to go for Beach's Poliwrath, especially in this backline matchup. This is the non-Shadow Poliwrath.
No shield.
And you could tank 1 Aerial Ace, and Jmillz, actually not even swiping 1, the bubbles, maybe going for a little extra energy. I actually don't hate that play, actually, because he knows it's not enough to knock out, so this might give him 1 extra wing attack worth of energy.
This was so smart from Jmillz to not show the Charger Bug, knowing this is an ABB strategy to bait out the Charger Bug so your Skarmory could do a lot in the back line, but he didn't bite. He used the Protect Shield. Now he's going to have that Charger Bug aligned on the Skarmory in the back, but Beach will have the Protect Shield advantage and will get loaded on energy against this Gligar.
Beach going to show this Skarmory early, but this is a debuff Gligar, so it's not going to do nearly as much damage. All the attacks are resistant on top of that. Let's see if Beach can go for the aggressive Steel Wing down. But the thing is, it's taking a decent amount of chunk of damage at this point.
Yeah, you need to get this full Steel Wing down. You want to bank all this energy. You're probably going to have to take an Aerial Ace before you get there. You definitely have to take an Aerial Ace, and there it is. No, actually, the dig. This is going to get dangerously close to knocking out. This is a no Protect Shield. Now, suddenly, this Skarmory does not ensure that it can get double attacks off because it needs to get the Brave Bird off against a Volt Switch. It might just get knocked out here. Was this the Brave Bird or the Sky Attack?
Oh, and a no shield as well from Jmillz. I like this play a lot. He said, you know what? Charger Bug's ready to do his
Sky
thing.
Attack!
He throws the Sky Attack. Volt Switch comes through, and now he wants to save this shield for this matchup. If you give 2 shields to Altaria, it definitely could be a lot worse for Jmillz. But now Jmillz having the shield remaining, going to save it for probably the Skarmory. He can save it even for Charger Bug at this point too, because he knows that Skarmory has a lot of entry loaded on the back end for Beach's side.
But it's not over for Beach yet because he has that Sky Attack banked, maybe even a Brave Bird because he only threw Sky Attack energy, so he could possibly get to an attack that knocks out the Charger Bug in the backline. You have to expect you're going to use both your protections here. No! Letting it go on the Sky Attack, the bait attack, but this puts your Altaria so low.
I think Beach has to take that risk though, because if he shields there, then Jmillz goes straight for the Brave Bird, save the shield for the Charge Bug, and just Volt Switch down. So I like the call from Beach. It is not over yet, but he is put in a tough position. Now this Sky Attack is actually going to threaten this Skarmory. Do you shield if you're Jmillz? I think he's going to let it go and go for the Volt Switch down.
How do you get to another charge attack? You need a charge attack on this Altaria to get the Protect Shield down. Can you get there before you get knocked out by Volt Switch? Can Altaria do it? It needs to hold on to get to the Sky Attack, and he does!
And he gets to it too! You know Jmillz would like to see it, but...
There's a shield remaining. Beach has the Sky Attack. I think Beach has it. He knows it. He presses it. It's on charge attack priority, but he has a Protect Shield remaining. He registered that Sky Attack, and now he's going to unleash that Sky Attack that he banked up to tie up this series 2-2.
Wow, what a huge game for Beach. Back against the wall in a tough situation. He was hard countered in every single matchup, but instead of bringing the Poliwrath back into, or not the Poliwrath, the Altaria back into the Gligar, he chose to bring in the Skarmory, show his third, get all that extra energy. If you look at the side of Jmillz, there's no Lantern. There's nothing that resists that flying damage outside his own Skarmory. So unless he chooses to bring in his positive matchup into Altaria, Beach knew that that energy was going to go somewhere, even if it was a Charge Bug in the back.
That was high level because remember, he threw the Sky Attack first instead of the Brave Bird to ensure that he could get a Sky Attack later on. If he threw the Brave Bird straight away against the Charger Bug, he would have got knocked out by that Volt Switch, and he never would have got that Sky Attack in the end game. This is such high level from both trainers here. And how about the Altaria barely hanging on to get that Protect Shield? That's all Beach needed to win that battle. battle. I also love the way Jmillz played this game because beeach was running an ABB team to bait out the Charge Bug. He was bringing in Poliwrath to bait out the Charge Bug so Skarmory could sweep in the back. Jmillz instantly registered that and brought in the Shadow Gligar, but that's what gave the Protect Shield advantage. Because Poliwrath is okay against Shadow Gligar, he was able to take a Protect Shield and win it all with the Skarmory. Fantastic plays.
Advanced plays all the way throughout. We are on our feet here for game number 5. Winner of this will move on to the grand finals. Loser will be going home early in the third place.
There it is.
And we have a Skarmory versus Poliwrath matchup, which is overall actually a pretty good matchup for the Poliwrath.
This is the Pokemon that I thought could be so safe in this matchup. And look, Jmillz is running an ABB team strong to it with that Shadow Gligar and Charger Bug in the back. Oh wait, no shielding on an Icy Wind. That's actually a huge swing for Jmillz in this opening matchup.
But yeah, now he could go for the attack. It's throwing on Charge Attack priority as well. Beach is going to have to respect the Sky Attack. Still super effective, even with the debuff. You don't want to take that extra chip damage. Oh, and here we see the swap. Double strong into the Poliwrath in the back. And here comes the Altaria, which again, a positive match for Altaria, but you have a shield advantage on Charge Bug, so Charge Bug still has a lot of play here if Jmillz chooses to. The thing is, there's a Skarmory lurking in the back for Jmillz's Gligar, so he has to definitely watch out.
Yeah, the tough thing though, Beach is in a Protect Shield deficit. Already used the Protect Shield here, so if that Gligar is able to bank that energy, save it up, and then use it down the stretch against Poliwrath, he could be in trouble. But no, now we have Protect Shield parity because Jmillz actually gives up a Protect Shield to keep this Charger Bug around to ensure the knockout into this Altaria.
He's trying to make a team read here. I think it makes a lot of sense, right? Poliwrath in lead, Beach needs something that beats Gligar in the back, and one of the best answers to that is that Skarmory, and that's exactly what's in the back. So Jmillz able to win switch. Oh, and then now comes in Poliwrath, does Beach shield the super effective discharge and force to spend his final shield. Now things are looking a lot different now for this matchup.
Can you counter down here? No, pivots into the Gligar to avoid that counter down, but then pivots into an Icy Wind. Now you're stuck with this debuff, and it's the same situation as last game. Now Skarmory can come in and soak this energy and get absolutely loaded and have a great chance of finishing off the game for Beach.
This is going to be really funky. Unfortunately, the debuff dig is just not going to do much. Everything's already resistant on top of it. And Beach, I feel like I've seen this all day from him. He just brings in the Skarmory and goes over the aggressive farm down against Shadow Gligar. And again, actually trying to throw. Wait, he's trying to throw the Sky Attack
on Charge Attack priority.
And then Jmillz actually gets the dig off. This actually could be pretty huge.
This could be a slight mistake from Beach here and give Jmillz a window to get back into this game and make it to the grand finals. Do you go for the undercharge here? There is the undercharge, so you can load this energy back up. Can you get there before the aerial ace? Really nice undercharge from Beach there.
Yeah, actually perfect undercharge right before the aerial ace is reached. This is a loaded Skarmory, unfortunately. You have the potential to try to catch a Brave Bird, but that's just a hard thing to pull off in this situation. Let's see how much health did this Skarmory get hang out with.
And the timer just came back up, and now Poliwrath swapped, but Poliwrath gets the counter down. Jmillz knows it. Beach is just moments away from moving on to the grand finals to face Junebug.
Beach down 1-2 against Jmillz in this best of 5, finds a miraculous win in game 4, and then finds the way to win in game number 5 against Jmillz. And now Beach will be entering his first ever grand finals against the juggernaut of Junebug. The good thing is Beach hasn't faced Junebug yet, so maybe he's the one that might be able to take him down.